That's a portal. I'm gonna go. I don't know if that's gonna be.
A couple was hiking through a remote trail when they noticed something strange in the sky. Unidentified objects moved in ways that didn't match any known aircraft. At first, it seemed random, but soon the pattern of sightings and unexplained encounters started to feel deliberate, like controlled disclosure. One day, a person was driving home when they saw a strange figure on the road. It was moving on all fours, like a dog, and making sounds just like a dog. Its movements were unnatural, and it seemed fully aware of the approaching car. The figure crawled slowly, calling out like a dog, as if trying to attract attention. Every step was deliberate, and even in the calm daytime, the sight felt unsettling and eerie. The driver froze for a moment, unsure what to do. As the car passed, the figure disappeared into the side of the road, leaving only questions behind. Even in broad daylight, the encounter was chilling. If something like this appeared in front of you, would you dare to look or just drive away? While walking through the Palpa Desert near Nazca, Peru, a camper was searching for geoglyphs to film for a YouTube channel when they stumbled upon something unexpected. Scattered across the sand were human skulls, each one more disturbing than the last. One had a rope threaded through a hole in its forehead, and another still had hair attached. The sight made the quiet desert feel suddenly heavy and eerie. What had happened here? The area no longer felt like an empty stretch of sand. It resembled an unmarked burial site, holding secrets that no one had explained. The camper stood there, frozen, unsure whether to move closer or step back. The discovery left more questions than answers. If you found something like this in the middle of a desert, would you dare to investigate it further? Begins with a camper's night vision trail camera placed near a quiet, isolated swamp. The footage shows still water, heavy darkness, and no signs of movement at first. Then, without warning, a small glowing orb appears in the frame. No sound, no disturbance, just a faint light hovering above the surface. What makes the moment unsettling is how the orb behaves. It drifts slowly, almost with purpose, before lowering itself toward the water. The camper who shared the clip never explained what happened next, but the footage clearly shows the light slipping beneath the surface without a ripple. It does not flicker or fade like a reflection, and it does not return. The video ends as quietly as it began, with the swamp returning to complete stillness. No location, no date, and no explanation were ever provided by the camper. The clip continues to circulate, leaving viewers to interpret what they saw on their own. If something can move through darkness and water without a trace, would you be certain it was ever meant to be seen? Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you for a quick favor. If you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We're getting closer to 30,000 subscribers, and once we hit that milestone, a few lucky subscribers will receive a special surprise. Now let's go back to the video. She believed she was completely alone. The area was silent, and there was no visible movement. She set out to capture the image, thinking it would only show the empty surroundings. But when the photo was processed, a detailed human-shaped figure appeared. Night mode records light over several seconds, meaning any movement during that time can appear solid in the final image. Still, the figure remained visible long enough to be captured and then vanished without making a sound. Had they really been alone? To this day, they don't know how to explain it. The image leaves questions unanswered, leaving viewers to wonder about the presence that appeared so silently. if something like that appeared near you? Would you trust what you saw? One night, a camper walking through a quiet rubber plantation decided to record the dark path while heading out before dawn. The forest was silent, with only faint footsteps and the distant sound of insects breaking the stillness. While reviewing the footage later, something disturbing appeared in the frame. High on one of the trees sat a woman-like figure, completely motionless, watching from above. When there was no wind moving the branches, and no one else was supposed to be there. The moment lasted only a few seconds before the camera turned away and the figure faded into darkness. Yet every time the camper replayed the clip, the same silent presence remained in the tree. If you were walking alone near your camper and suddenly noticed someone watching from the branches, would you keep walking or stop and look again? Two men captured a strange gate hidden deep in a dense forest, somewhere unknown. The footage is clear, yet the location and details are completely secret. What makes it even stranger is the short caption: "A bunker that could reveal the true history of humanity." There are no other videos, no clues, just this one mysterious clip. Experts have looked at it and can't explain it, and it's definitely not AI or fake. The passage itself is small, almost too tight for a person to enter easily. Could it really hold lost history, or evidence of a different civilization? The video ends without answers, leaving more questions than ever. If something like this exists, would you dare to explore it? A camper couple trekking through the woods in the Appalachian region. Many believe these forests hold mysterious forces, something often whispered about, but never fully explained. And as they walk deeper, the silence around them feels unnatural, almost watchful. Legends in this area speak of the Fae, or forest elves, said to live in ancient forests like these. It is believed they set traps for humans, portals that can pull unaware hikers into another dimension. The couple seems to come across something unusual along their path, something that doesn't belong.
Is it just me? Or when there are two trees like this on a path? That's a portal. I'm gonna go. I don't know if that's gonna be, I don't know where that takes me, but I'm not trying to find out on this hike.
The footage ends without revealing what happened next, and the camper never posted again. Some say those who step into such places don't always return. If you found something like that in the woods, would you keep walking? About a year ago, a camper moved to the high desert in Southern California. One early morning while having coffee, he noticed someone walking behind the property line, onto which stretched across about 5 acres. From that distance, he couldn't make out any clear features, but the figure looked enormous, around 7 to 8 feet tall, and moved with a heavy, stomping gait. Curious and cautious, the camper went outside to get a better look and grabbed his phone. At that moment, the entity seemed to notice him. It turned around and stared directly at him. Nervous but determined, he managed to capture a picture of it before going inside to call his partner. When they both came out, they saw the figure walking away toward the hills. The camper never asked anyone to share the footage, but the encounter was too bizarre to ignore. The image shows the moment the entity looked at him, leaving more questions than answers. If you saw something like this in your backyard, would you dare to step closer or stay inside? This video shows a real pokong, unusually tall, appearing in an unknown location. The footage is raw and unedited, capturing the eerie presence of this supernatural figure in full view. Its movements are slow but deliberate, creating a sense of tension that is hard to ignore. The pokong's white shroud and towering form make it impossible to mistake for a human. Its silent presence dominates the scene, and every frame seems to hold an unsettling stillness. Even watching it from afar, viewers can feel the heaviness of the moment. The video ends as quietly as it began, leaving more questions than answers. Has anyone ever encountered something like this before? If you saw a figure like this standing silently nearby, would you dare to get closer? While driving through the desert using night vision goggles, driver noticed something unexpected. He was heading home, traveling a few miles along a quiet paved road. The area was dark, isolated, and mostly empty. Then suddenly, he saw a man standing in the middle of the road. The man appeared to be doing karate moves, striking and fighting at something that wasn't there. There were no other people, and no vehicles nearby. The driver stopped and watched for several minutes, but the man just kept moving, kicking, punching, and fighting in the empty lane. The driver mentioned he didn't have an SD card in his recorder, so the video quality was poor. Still, he shared the footage as proof of what he saw. Even with low-quality video, the strange behavior is chilling and unexplained. If you saw someone like that in the middle of a deserted road, would you stop and watch or drive away? One night, a camper heard a strange sound outside his camp. Curious, he went to check and saw something unusual near a fallen coconut tree. At first, it looked a little like a human, but its movements were strange and unnatural. The figure climbed up and sat atop the tree, silently watching him. Its posture and stillness were deeply unsettling, making the camper freeze in fear. The night around him felt heavier, and the quiet presence of this being made every sound seem louder. After a few moments, it simply stayed there, watching without moving. The camper slowly retreated, unsure if what he saw was real. So if something silently observed you in the dark, would you dare to stay and watch back? Visitor was exploring an old graveyard in the middle of the Chilean desert, about 200 kilometers from Ike, when they came across something unusual. They didn't disturb any graves. It was simply lying there. The cemetery contained graves that were more than 100 years old, making the discovery all the more puzzling. Confused by what they found, the Reddit user posted the image online, unsure why a symbol like this would appear in such a remote place. One commenter explained, "The land once sat near Colonia Dignidad, a sealed German settlement with a dark and well-documented past. German migrants and sympathizers were present in Chile long before the colony was officially founded, and the symbol was commonly used by Nazi supporters in the early 20th century. Colonia Dignidad later became Villa Bavaria after its leaders fled justice, but the history tied to the land remains unsettling. The symbol in the desert, untouched for decades, leaves more questions than answers. If you stumbled upon something like this in an isolated graveyard, would you dare to get closer and investigate?" This terrifying clip was uploaded on Real D's Dark Adventures' TikTok. A man went camping alone deep inside a forest, planning to spend the night surrounded by silence and darkness. Hours passed without incident, until late at night, he stepped outside his tent with a flashlight, slowly scanning the trees. The forest felt unusually still, as if everything had paused. As the beam of light moved forward, it suddenly caught something staring straight back at him. It wasn't moving. It wasn't hiding. The shape was massive, far larger than any animal he could recognize. The eyes reflected the light, locked onto him, unblinking.
It's the same one. That's big, guys. That's big. I'm telling you, if it stands up. That's big. That's big. That's big. I don't know how. That's big. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Nope. That's big, dude. No. Guys, those eyes got like a foot. Okay.
For a moment, neither of them moved, and the distance between them felt dangerously small. Fear took over. He didn't wait to find out what it was or why it was watching him. He backed away, grabbed what he could, and left the campsite immediately, convinced he had wandered somewhere he was never meant to stay. And when something in the forest watches you, before you notice it? Would you still call it just another camping trip? This terrifying clip was uploaded on History Fuzz's TikTok. A group of people went camping deep inside a remote jungle, exploring the area during daylight before nightfall. As they moved uphill, one of them noticed something strange in the landscape. On the left side, the terrain seemed to form the shape of a massive serpent. Just ahead, the rock formation began to resemble a bird's head. An eye-like hollow, a rounded back of the skull, and what looked eerily like a beak. At first, they laughed it off, thinking it was just imagination. But as they continued moving downhill, the shapes became harder to ignore.
Past the horn-nosed serpent on the left, and the team are just coming upon the bird's head. It looks like an eye with a bulbous back of the head and a beak. And that's us now making down towards the back of the caiman. There's the back.
From a higher angle, the formation now looked like the body of a giant caiman. The back, the snout, and a single eye shape were clearly visible, with what appeared to be an open mouth near the bottom of the hill. The camera kept rolling as they passed what looked like horned shapes in the rock, and the mood slowly shifted from curiosity to unease. None of them could explain why the shapes felt so deliberate, almost too perfect to be natural. Some believe it was nothing more than pareidolia, the mind finding patterns where none exist. Others think the jungle was hiding something older, watching quietly as they passed through. And when the land itself starts to look alive, would you keep walking or turn back before night falls? This disturbing clip was uploaded on Neob's Style's Instagram. A few friends went camping deep in a dense forest as night began to fall. Around them, dry leaves littered the ground, and the forest seemed quiet, almost too quiet. They had set up their tents on a small clearing, perched on a little rise, thinking it was a safe spot for the night. Suddenly, the darkness was filled with terrifying, unexplainable sounds. Screams, growls, howls. The friends froze, hearts pounding, unsure if what they were hearing was human, animal, or something far more sinister. Every rustle of leaves and shadow moving in the trees made the fear grow. They had no idea what was approaching, but instinct told them to stay calm and stick together. Rescue teams and researchers might later try to explain these sounds. But for the campers in that forest, there was no time for logic, only survival. Was it just a wild animal, or something truly unknown lurking in the dark? One thing is certain, in the forest at night, every sound can become a nightmare. So, when you head into the woods after dark, would you dare stay if you heard something that shouldn't exist? This scary clip was uploaded on Zach Lake Powell's Instagram. A few boys and girls went camping in the middle of a narrow valley, wedged between two towering mountains. On either side of them were massive cliffs and huge rocks, making the spot look adventurous, but also extremely risky. At first, everything seemed calm. The air was fresh, and the group was excited for their little escape into nature. Suddenly, rain started pouring down from above. Water began rushing down the slopes on both sides of the mountains, quickly filling the valley.
This wasn't the plan.
The group realized the danger and scrambled towards safer, higher ground. In an instant, the narrow valley could have trapped them completely. The sheer speed of the flood left their hearts racing. They barely managed to get out in time. it was a shocking reminder of how powerful and unpredictable nature can be. Even a seemingly peaceful camping spot can turn deadly in seconds. Adventure is thrilling, but survival depends on awareness, quick thinking, and respect for the environment. This encounter proves that sometimes the mountains don't give warnings, and you have to run for your life. So, when you head into the wilderness, are you truly ready for the moment nature strikes without warning? Fahad MK went camping deep in a dense forest during the daytime. The forest was thick and overgrown, full of shadows and hidden corners. Fahad rode his bike into the area, searching for the perfect spot to set up his camp. He climbed a tall tree to scout the location and get a better view of the surrounding area. Suddenly, he heard an unexpected sound below. Looking down, his heart sank. A tiger was hiding in the forest, stalking the very spot he had chosen for camping. Fahad realized immediately that if he went down, the tiger could attack. Fear gripped him as he understood just how close the danger was. That once peaceful forest had turned into a deadly trap in an instant. This encounter left Fahad shaken and with a hard lesson. Sometimes, no matter how carefully you plan, nature's predators can appear without warning. After this, it's unlikely he'll ever camp in that forest again. It's a chilling reminder that in the wild, you're never truly safe. And even a beautiful forest can hide a deadly threat. So, the real question is, would you risk camping knowing a predator could be lying in wait? This scary clip was uploaded on Reed Timmer's Instagram. What starts as an ordinary outdoor adventure quickly turns into a nightmare no one was prepared for. Campers across Tornado Alley set up for the night, unaware that nature was about to unleash its full power. In one chilling moment, storm chasers inside the Dominator 3 intercept a massive tornado as it forms. Instruments record winds reaching an unbelievable 120 miles per hour inside the suction vortex, the exact moment the tornado plants itself on the ground.
Tower power flashes! Touching up right here! Debris in the tar! This is somebody's house! We're gonna need to turn around, guys! Direct intercept to the door! Direct intercept to the door!
As night falls, the danger doesn't fade. Instead, it moves closer. A powerful tornado later strikes Valley View, Texas, tearing through the area and proving that Tornado Alley is truly active again. For anyone camping nearby, there's no shelter, no warning strong enough, only the desperate need to escape before it's too late. With meteorologists closely watching the October 20th to 23rd window for the start of the fall severe weather season, one thing is clear: these storms are far from over. Live Dominator mode will return soon. But for campers caught in the open, the real question is, when the sky turns violent with nowhere to hide, would you know how to survive? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Haley_country_mom's Instagram. In this video, we can see a family enjoying a peaceful camping trip near a waterfall in the mountains. The mother is recording a video of their children and the father, capturing their happy moments as they sit together, laughing and having fun. It's a quiet, joyful day. One of those rare moments where everything feels calm, safe, and perfect in the middle of nature. Suddenly, the father notices something unusual. He freezes, then points ahead with his finger. At the same moment, their daughter nervously tells her mother that there's a crocodile on the mountain slope. When they all finally spot it, fear instantly takes over. The crocodile is there, right in front of them, and it looks terrifying. Its mouth is wide open, as if it's ready to attack, giving the impression that it's about to choose one of them as its prey. For a moment, it feels like the crocodile is targeting them, moving as if it intends to strike. The family realizes just how dangerous this place truly is, a reminder that wild animals can appear even in places that seem safe and beautiful. This area, deep within the hills and forest, suddenly feels extremely frightening. And it leaves one unsettling question behind. Were there more crocodiles hiding nearby, watching them all along? This scary clip was uploaded on Ali Golbasti's Instagram. This clip shows a terrifying moment from the Chipperson Valley, where a peaceful camping trip quickly turned into a fight for survival. Campers had settled near the mountains of Yeshkuk, enjoying the silence of nature, unaware that they were standing directly at the epicenter of a powerful force waiting to strike. Without any warning, the ground began to shake violently. A 5.8 magnitude earthquake ripped through the valley, turning the calm campsite into chaos within seconds. Tents trembled, rocks crashed down from nearby slopes, and dust filled the air. Extremely alarming footage captured the moment when campers realized they were in grave danger, scrambling to run as the earth beneath them refused to stay still. Panic spread fast. With no shelter and the mountains surrounding them, every second felt like a gamble between life and death. What began as an adventure instantly became a desperate escape from nature's raw power. And as the shaking slowly faded, one haunting question remained. If the earth can turn deadly without warning, would you know when to run and when it's already too late? On March 15, 2025, a group of hikers set out to climb Spantic Peak, which rises to 7,027 meters in Pakistan's Karakoram Range. At first, the ascent seemed straightforward, but the thin snow covering much of the mountain made every step uncertain. Patches of exposed earth revealed treacherous terrain, turning each movement into a delicate balance between safety and disaster. The climbers could feel the mountain's quiet unpredictability, knowing that one wrong step could send them sliding down the slope. But the calm didn't last long. Suddenly, a massive boulder perched precariously at the top of a nearby hill began to shift. Slowly at first, then faster, it tumbled downward, scattering smaller stones in every direction. The campers screamed and scrambled, hearts pounding as the giant rock barreled toward them. What should have been a peaceful adventure had turned into a desperate fight for survival. These chilling encounters remind us that the wilderness is as unforgiving as it is beautiful. From tumbling boulders to slippery mountain slopes, the line between adventure and peril can vanish in an instant. Every trip into the wild carries risk, and every step could be the one that changes everything. So when you head into the mountains, ask yourself, are you ready to survive when nature decides to fight back? This scary clip was uploaded on Guide Toysland's Instagram. A few people went camping on Reynisfjara Black Sand Beach in Iceland. The beach was stunning, covered in black sand, scattered with small rocks, and surrounded by icy cliffs. The waves crashed onto the shore, creating a mesmerizing but powerful scene that seemed almost otherworldly. As one person filmed the scenery, a massive wave suddenly surged toward the group. The force of the ocean threw one of them into the water. In a terrifying instant, the camper was being swept away, struggling against the icy current. Panic set in as the others scrambled, trying to pull their friend to safety. Against all odds, quick thinking and teamwork saved them. but the moment was a chilling reminder of how unpredictable the sea can be. Iceland's nature is breathtaking, but also unforgiving. No photo or video is worth risking your life. Adventure is thrilling, but staying alert, respecting warning signs, and keeping a safe distance can mean the difference between life and death. So when you visit wild beaches like this, would you risk standing too close to nature's power? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Lacrama's Instagram. What seemed like a calm moment suddenly turns intense when a tiger steps onto the road. It moves with calm confidence, glancing at the campers and walking dangerously close along the path, every step powerful and deliberate. The forest falls completely silent, as if the entire wilderness is holding its breath. No birds, no wind, only the presence of the tiger and the frozen visitors. What was meant to be a peaceful camping experience instantly becomes a moment of pure tension, balanced between awe and fear. Long after the tiger passes, its presence lingers in the mind, a reminder of the wild's raw and unpredictable power. If a predator like this can appear so suddenly in daylight, even while camping, would you know whether to stay still or make a move? This incredible clip was uploaded on Puberty's Instagram. Two friends were camping near a river, surrounded by ice and snow during a cold winter day. The riverbanks were frozen, and the world seemed calm and quiet under the low winter sun. They set up their campsite, enjoying the serene, icy landscape, completely unaware of the danger building upstream. Suddenly, they noticed something unusual: a large surge of water coming from the river, carrying chunks of ice with it. The ice dam upstream had given way, and the water, trapped for hours, rushed downstream with incredible force. Sheets of ice cracked and tumbled into the river, creating a powerful, roaring surge. The campers watched in shock as the icy torrent swept along, carrying massive chunks of frozen water that could have easily destroyed anything in its path. It was a chilling reminder of how quickly nature can change. A peaceful river can turn into a dangerous flood in moments, and survival often comes down to awareness and quick action. Adventure is thrilling, but in the wild, you have to respect the forces around you. So, when you camp near icy rivers or streams, would you risk staying when nature decides to unleash its power? This incredible clip was uploaded on Sapavago's Instagram. Someone went camping in a park near a forest in Yosemite National Park, California, on December 26, 2025. The day was calm, with light rain falling, and the campsite felt peaceful. But as they stepped out of their camper, something caught their eye: a beautiful, wild bobcat, quietly moving through the trees nearby. The animal was stunning, but anyone who has spent time in the wilderness knows that wild cats, even small ones like a bobcat, can be dangerous. For a brief moment, the camper and the bobcat crossed paths, standing just feet apart. The tension was high. Every move mattered, but fortunately, neither was harmed. The encounter was unforgettable, a thrilling reminder that in the wild, beauty and danger often come hand in hand. It's moments like these that make you respect the forest. Even on a calm day, the wilderness is unpredictable, and encounters with wildlife can shift from awe-inspiring to dangerous in seconds. So, the real question is, if you came face to face with a wild predator like this, would you stay calm or run for your life? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Imankulit's TikTok and shows a group of friends who went camping in a forest along a mountainside, guided by a local tourist guide. Recent rain had soaked the ground, making every step slippery and tense. As they moved deeper into the forest, one of them, John, suddenly cried out in pain, clutching his eye and calling for help. When the group looked closer, they realized something alive was moving inside his eye. Panic spread instantly. They tried to remove it, but whatever it was refused to come out. John screamed in fear and pain as his friend struggled, unsure of what they were dealing with. After a long and terrifying moment, they finally managed to remove it safely. Relief washed over the group, but the fear stayed with them. If something so small and unexpected can turn a camping trip into a nightmare, would you know how to react? A few people went camping on a beach on a sunny day. The shoreline looked calm and inviting, but the ocean was hiding a dangerous secret. One of them noticed a massive wave approaching from the distance and quickly realized it was no ordinary surf. It was a sneaker wave, the kind that can surge far beyond the normal waterline, pulling everything in its path back into the sea. As the wave barreled toward the campers, they scrambled toward higher ground, filming the unfolding chaos. Another wave came, striking even closer, and two of the group were caught by the sudden surge. Fortunately, a brave companion rushed in to help, pulling them to safety just in time. The rest of the group watched in shock as the ocean displayed its raw, unpredictable power. After the wave retreated, it was unclear if everyone was unharmed, leaving a chilling reminder of the ocean's deadly potential. Calm waters can be deceiving. Sneaker waves strike without warning, faster than anyone can run, and the ocean never asks permission before it turns deadly. Adventure can be breathtaking, but respect for the water and quick thinking can save your life. So the question remains, would you recognize the danger before it's too late? This scary clip was uploaded on Road Trip Monster's Instagram. A hiker in Breckenridge, Colorado captures something deeply unsettling along the side of a switchback trail near a ski resort. Scattered just off the road are multiple elk carcasses, lying close together, each in a different state of decay. What immediately stands out is that none of the animals appear to have their skulls intact.
Something was killing all this stuff. I assume maybe it's hunters, who knows? Or maybe it's a mountain lion or something. But that's a lot of carcasses.
According to the hiker's father, who saw the scene in person, there wasn't a single head among them, only bodies, weathered by time and the elements. As the camera lingers, the situation becomes even more disturbing. The varied levels of decomposition suggest these elk didn't all die at once. Some look far older than others, as if the bodies were placed there over a long period of time. This raises uncomfortable questions. A natural disaster like an avalanche could explain multiple deaths, but not the missing heads. Predators don't behave this way. And if this were wildlife management or disease control, why leave the bodies so close to a public trail? Nothing in the video offers a clear explanation, only silence, decay, and unanswered questions in the middle of the mountains. Were these animals victims of human activity, nature, or something far less understood? And why would so many elk end up here, stripped of their heads, beside a trail where hikers still pass by? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Shanti_Pagaregan's TikTok. A man went camping and woke up suddenly at exactly 4:02 in the morning. The campsite was completely quiet, and everyone else was still asleep. As he looked toward the road, his heart dropped. There was a stranger standing right in the middle of it, not moving at all. In the early morning darkness, the figure felt out of place, and fear set in almost instantly. Trying to understand what he was seeing, he started recording. The stranger didn't walk, didn't turn, didn't react in any normal way. At one point, the man heard him say something, but the words weren't clear. That moment made the air feel heavier, as if the silence itself was pressing in, forcing him to keep watching, even though every instinct told him not to. After he finished recording, he stepped away to the restroom for just a short moment. When he came back and looked toward the road again, the stranger was gone. No sound, no movement, no explanation, leaving only one chilling question for anyone watching. If you were standing there at 4:02 a.m., would you have stayed to see what happened next? This disturbing clip was uploaded on Tigard Valley's TikTok. A group went camping deep in the forest, traveling there by car and settling in for the night. Suddenly, something began passing in front of their vehicle just beyond the headlights. It was strange, because no one is supposed to be out there at that hour. Confused and uneasy, a few of them stepped out to see what it was. But when they checked, there was nothing there at all.
Whoa. What the hell? Whoa. That's the man in the black cloak.
Y'all seeing that?
Get up there and check it out.
We're driving along. All of a sudden we look up, and there's the man in the black cloak.
Whoa.
He stands there for a second, and then he just glides off the side of the road. It's like he disappeared.
Jeff, bro, you seeing anything, dude?
I'm not seeing anything. It's like it vanished.
How did that thing get out of here without somebody seeing where it went to?
Guys, see anything?
No! Like it disappeared in the thin air.
Moments later, the same thing passed by the side of their car again. This time, it felt closer. They got out once more, scanning the area carefully, but again found nothing. No footsteps, no movement, no sound. The forest remained completely still, as if whatever they saw had never been there. Many believe stories like this are tied to Appalachian folklore, including legends of the man in black and even skinwalker-like entities said to roam these mountains. Watching this footage, it raises a chilling question. If something can move around you, appear near your car, and vanish every time you look for it, what was really watching them in the Appalachian woods that night? This scary clip was uploaded on Paranormal's Mysterium's TikTok. Two women were outside, talking quietly while washing dishes. At first, everything felt normal and calm. Then, without warning, a chair beside them suddenly fell over.
It's okay. Just ignore and don't do anything. Just ignore.
One of the women tried to stay calm and told the other to ignore it, hoping it was nothing serious. Seconds later, things escalated fast. The entire rack tipped over, sending everything down at once, as if something unseen had pushed it with force.
Sometimes these things is happening, you know.
Maybe it's because we talked about it?
Yes, maybe because we talked. Oh my god. Okay, just leave it. Just ignore.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, I know it's not your fault.
Yes, that's not my fault.
I know it's not your
No,
fault.
that's not my fault.
A baby stroller nearby began to move on its own. Right after that, a full dish tray was suddenly thrown to the ground, crashing loudly.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Get out! Get out from my house!
Okay, Martina, I think I'm freaking out a little bit here.
No, don't freak out. No, it's fine. It is okay.
Okay, we just, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about this.
The fear was no longer avoidable. Then the door started shaking repeatedly, growing louder and more aggressive. Terrified, the women kept shouting, begging whatever it was to leave and go away from their place. Watching this scene, one question lingers in your mind. If you saw a full dish tray thrown down and an entire rack pushed over by something you couldn't see, would you still believe no one was there? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Sky.Phenomenon's Instagram. A group of friends were camping late at night behind a house in a quiet suburban area. The tents were set up close together, and lights glowed around the campsite, cutting softly through the darkness. Everything felt normal until someone looked up. Above them, drifting across the night sky, was a glowing object. It wasn't blinking like a plane, and it wasn't falling like a drone losing control. Instead, the light moved smoothly and silently, almost as if it were floating with purpose. As the camera zooms in, the glow appears uneven, shifting shape slightly as it glides over the neighborhood.
Not a plane. It's still going. Why isn't it blinking?
You can hear the fear in their voices as they try to understand what they're seeing. No sound. No sudden movements. Just a glowing ball of light calmly circling above them, ignoring gravity and logic. The clip ends without answers, leaving one unsettling thought behind. If it noticed them watching, why didn't it stop? This disturbing clip was uploaded on .dark. A group of boys went camping deep in an open desert. While exploring during the afternoon from a slightly elevated spot, they noticed something that immediately felt out of place. In the middle of the desert, rows of chairs were arranged neatly, but on some of the chairs, skeletons lay scattered as if abandoned. Right in front of it all, a massive board stood, wide and flat, almost like a giant cinema screen, adding to the eerie, unnatural feeling. There was no stage, no people, no explanation, just the empty chairs, the skeletons, and the enormous board looming silently. The boys kept filming, capturing every angle of the strange sight. The sunlight cast long shadows over the chairs, skeletons, and board, making the desert feel even more unsettling. Nothing moved, nothing explained why it was there, and the silence made the place feel alive, as if it were waiting for someone or something to arrive. As they continued recording, for one chilling question lingered. Why would skeletons be left on chairs in the middle of an empty desert, right in front of a cinema-like board? And who or what had arranged it this way? This scary clip was uploaded on pushcar_Kia_Londa's Instagram. A man camping alone in a remote desert, a silent and isolated place where the darkness feels endless. Late at night, while filming his surroundings, he noticed a small figure hiding among a cluster of rocks ahead. A young girl in a bright red dress, standing unnaturally still in the sand. As he moved closer, the camera captured something deeply unsettling. Her eyes glowed red, cutting through the darkness, and her movements were stiff and mechanical, like a doll trying to move on its own. She didn't walk normally. Instead, she climbed over the rocky formation in jerky, unnatural motions. Every step produced an eerie, creaking sound that echoed unnaturally in the empty desert. Even surrounded by darkness, she didn't disappear. Her glowing eyes were fixed on him, watching his every move, leaving him frozen, unsure if what he had seen was real or something far more sinister hiding in the desert that night. This terrifying clip was uploaded on Paranormal's Mysterium's TikTok. A young girl wakes up suddenly in the middle of the night. The house is silent, too silent, until strange, unnatural sounds drift through the darkness. The noise doesn't feel random, it feels intentional. As she listens closely, her stomach tightens when she realizes the sound is coming from the kitchen. Her mother standing by the oven, violently opening and slamming the oven door over and over again. The metal bangs echo through the house like warning signals. Confused and terrified, the girl screams, calling out to her mother. Suddenly, the oven door freezes mid-motion. Suddenly, her mother turns her head. Her face is wrong. Her eyes are empty, wide, and locked directly onto the girl, as if she's not looking at her, but through her. The clip cuts there, with no explanation, no movement, only one chilling question left behind. Was that really her mother, or something else wearing her face? A group of campers notice a locked, graffiti-covered structure sitting eerily close to where they had set up for the night. Curiosity gets the better of them, and one person carefully approaches the sealed door. Instead of opening it, they slowly slide their camera through a narrow gap, letting the flashlight cut into the pitch-black interior beyond. At first, the hallway inside looks empty and silent. Then, deep in the darkness, two bright eyes suddenly appear, fixed directly on the camera. The figure itself remains hidden, but the eyes don't move or blink. They simply stare, as if fully aware it's being watched. The stillness makes the moment even more unsettling. Without warning, the eyes begin rushing forward, growing larger as a dark shape follows behind them. Panicking, the person yanks the camera back and stumbles away, too terrified to look again. But if something was watching them from inside that locked place, what else might have been watching from the darkness outside? This scary clip was uploaded on Uniturban Explorer's TikTok. Two people went down into the basement of an abandoned castle and discovered old bottles of wine hidden in the darkness. It was probably late at night, and the basement was completely dark, forcing them to rely only on their lights while recording everything on camera. The air felt heavy and cold, and the narrow stone walls made every small sound echo unnaturally. As they moved deeper, the wine bottles came into view, dusty and untouched, as if they had been waiting there for years.
We've just discovered this abandoned wine collection underneath this collapsing chateau. It's behind a locked door. That's where we were looking for the bottles, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
The silence was unsettling, broken only by their footsteps and the faint sound of breathing. Even though nothing was visibly moving, the space felt uncomfortable, like they weren't completely alone down there. It looked reinforced, sealed on purpose, as if someone wanted to keep whatever was behind it hidden. As the camera stayed fixed on that door, a disturbing question lingered. If wine was hidden in a place like this, what else could still be down there, locked away in the dark? This terrifying clip was uploaded on only Paranormal Vids' Instagram. A man was driving late at night, heading out for a camping trip. In this bone-chilling paranormal video, as he crossed a desolate bridge, a mysterious figure suddenly appeared in the distance. Dressed in what looked like a flowing white robe, the ghostly figure stood perfectly still, right in the middle of the path. The air grew heavy with tension, and the driver slammed on the brakes, clearly startled. A passenger bravely stepped out to investigate, moving slowly toward the figure. But as they approached, the entity seemed to glide forward, then vanish into the darkness, leaving an eerie emptiness in its wake. The isolated setting, the human-like shape, and the complete silence made the moment truly haunting. Terrified, the driver and passenger quickly jumped back into the car. Heart pounding, they sped away from the bridge, desperate to escape the unseen force lingering in that dark, lonely place. Watching this clip, you can't help but wonder, if it had been you alone on that bridge, would you have stayed or run as fast as you could? This disturbing clip was uploaded on Skates and Stuff's Instagram. A family went camping in a snowy forest and stumbled upon an abandoned camp. Everything around it felt strangely quiet, covered in snow, as if time had stopped. One of the children, curious and adventurous, wanted to get closer to the camp to explore. Suddenly, they heard strange, muffled sounds, soft shouts echoing from the empty camp.
Oh!
What the fuck was that? Kobe, come here now.
I'm looking.
No, come here now.
It's fine. Wait.
At first, the child's mother forbade them from going any closer, warning it might not be safe. But curiosity got the better of the child, and they approached again, despite the uneasy feeling in the air. The shouts continued, odd and deliberate, almost as if someone, or something, was trying to get their attention. Even in the video, it's unclear what the source of the sounds was. Nothing moves clearly on camera, and the family appears unharmed. But the eerie noises linger, leaving a chilling question. If you found yourself alone in a snowy, abandoned camp and heard those sounds, would you get closer or run for your life? It's broad daylight, but smoke from the stockyards twists and curls like dark ghosts in the wind. Suddenly, he notices his hay and silage are catching fire. Then, in the distance, another glow. Another fire burning far off, flickering eerily like something alive. Panic sets in. He slams the car through the stockyards, driving straight toward the flames near him. The fire roars, the wind howls like it's alive. The heat is unbearable, but the generator is still running. He jumps out, heart pounding, and fights the fire just as it threatens to leap into the tall grass behind the stacks. Smoke swirls, shadows dance across the scorched ground, and the distant fire pulses, almost as if watching him. Every second feels heavier, every breath is full of ash. The clip ends with the scorched earth, the lingering smoke, and the distant glow of another fire, leaving one chilling question. If you were standing there, surrounded by fire, smoke, and something you can't explain, would you survive, or would it take everything you love? About a year ago, around 3 a.m., something strange happened in a barn. The camera caught a horse standing calmly across the alleyway, seemingly healthy and normal. Vet reports confirmed there were no issues at all. Then, without warning, the horse suddenly hit the barn door. The gate swung open on its own, even though no one was nearby. The moment was brief, but the unsettling feeling lingered. Nothing else moved, and there was no wind or explanation. Even though the horse was perfectly healthy, its actions left everyone questioning, how could a completely calm animal open a gate in the middle of the night? And if it wasn't natural, what unseen force could have influenced it? This scary clip was uploaded on Ibroxim5555's Instagram, recorded by a group camping in a small clearing deep inside a forest. They had set up their tents and lit a campfire as night fell, surrounded by complete darkness on all sides. Everything was calm at first, until strange noises began coming from inside the woods, just beyond the reach of the firelight. Concerned, one person picked up a camera and a flashlight and slowly moved toward the sound.
İşte kızlarla. Ana pastı yurttu. Akkayındı. Oğlum kozu yanattı. Yakkilerin kozu yanattı.
As soon as the light hit the trees, something reflected back. It looked like a glowing shape deep in the forest. As the camera adjusted, more lights appeared. Small, flickering points that looked disturbingly like eyes, staring back from the darkness.
Oh, ana. Bo'ldi, sekin suramiz. Ha, o'ni. Ko'zi yonyapti. Ana, ha. Nega bitta? Ana ko'zi yonyapti. Qarayapti-da. Ikkita. Ko'p o'tdi, o'ntlarda ham bor. Uchta. U daxuya.
The forest went silent again, except for the crackling fire behind them. The glowing shapes didn't move closer, but they didn't disappear either. No animals could be clearly identified, and there were too many reflections to explain easily. So if those weren't animals watching from the trees, then what exactly was looking back at them from the dark? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Nandheinz Lice's Instagram, recorded by a group of friends who went camping in a remote forest late at night. The time was exactly 12:30 a.m., and at first, everything felt calm and quiet. The woods were still, and the path ahead seemed normal as they continued their camping exploration deeper into the forest. As they moved farther from their campsite, strange noises began echoing through the darkness. At first, it sounded like distant hammering, slow, rhythmic impacts coming from somewhere unseen. With every step forward, the sound grew louder. Then, without warning, it changed.
Going first.
Oh, no, go first. I'm ready to pick her. You gotta get lower than that. Look at him move.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh, it's about to catch something. Y'all ready to go back?
From deep beneath the ground came terrifying screams, voices that sounded human, crying out as if trapped below the forest floor. The screams didn't stop. Fear instantly took over. The group froze, realizing their camping trip had taken a disturbing turn into something unnatural. Without saying a single word, all 5 of them turned around and ran for their lives, never daring to return to that forest again. Because when you hear human-like screams rising from beneath the ground during a camping trip at midnight, you have to ask, what exactly did they encounter out there in the dark? This scary clip was uploaded on Laren.com's Instagram. It comes from Yangiabad, Uzbekistan, once a major uranium mining center, now filled with abandoned shafts and forgotten tunnels. A group decided to explore one of these old mines, entering deep underground, where the light quickly disappeared. Inside, the darkness was overwhelming, and the air felt heavy, like the place had been sealed off for decades. As they moved farther in, they discovered a deep pit carved into the rock. When they shined their light down into it, the beam seemed to vanish, unable to reach the bottom. Almost immediately, they began hearing sounds, something that resembled breathing, followed by a low, distant voice, as if someone was whispering or crying from deep within the shaft. Then the sound changed. What started as a faint noise turned into something closer to a scream. Panic set in instantly. The group didn't wait to investigate any further. They turned and ran, fleeing the mine as fast as they could. And the question that still haunts viewers is this: if those mines have been abandoned for years, who or what was screaming from the darkness below? This terrifying clip was uploaded on MT Riley's Instagram, caught on a trail camera in Red Hook, New York. According to the camper, it was nearly 3 a.m., with temperatures around 24 degrees, and the area was swamp hunting land, thick mud mixed with patches of snow. The camper had set up an outdoor camera near the campsite before going to sleep, expecting nothing more than the usual wildlife passing through the frame. What the camera captured was anything but normal. In a split second, a dark shape moved between the trees, passing through the grass at incredible speed. The figure crossed roughly 40 yards in just 1.5 seconds, far faster than any known animal native to the area. It appeared to be moving on 2 legs, with what looked like 2 arms, and for a brief moment, a strange beam or flash of light could be seen along its side. The camper later said, "There are no known species in that region capable of moving anywhere near that fast, especially through mud and snow in freezing conditions." The footage hasn't been edited and isn't AI generated, yet no clear explanation has ever been given. So, if this wasn't an animal, and it wasn't a person, then what exactly ran past that camera in the middle of the swamp at 3 a.m.? This scary clip was uploaded on liminal.d's Instagram, recorded in the middle of a field, late in the evening, as someone was driving along a quiet road. The night was calm, with only the faint hum of the engine, when suddenly, a strange, bright red object appeared far off in the distance. It moved toward the vehicle at an astonishing speed, far faster than anything ordinary.
No way! Holy!
The driver froze as the glowing red shape streaked closer and closer, its path seemingly intentional. It didn't appear to slow down or hesitate. Then, without warning, it passed right by the car, close enough that its light reflected across the windshield. The speed, the brightness, and the sudden proximity made it impossible to ignore. For a brief moment, the driver could only stare, unsure whether what they were seeing was natural, mechanical, or something else entirely. And when a red streak moves faster than reason and passes right by you in the dark, you can't help but wonder, what exactly just flew past that car? This scary clip was uploaded on Justin Thenick of Crime's Instagram. The clip comes from a quiet campsite late at night. It was recorded from a balcony at exactly 1:06 a.m., surrounded by snow in every direction. At first glance, nothing seems out of place until you notice the sky. It isn't dark. Instead, it looks faintly bright, almost like early morning, even though the night should be at its deepest.
I want to show you guys something absolutely insane. We are in the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, Tennessee area right now. It is snowing, and I don't know if it's a full moon tonight or whatever. Look at this. It looks like it's daytime. It is 1:06 in the morning. It is 1:06 a.m. right now, and it is incredibly bright outside because of the snow, I guess the reflection, whatever. I'm going to be honest, I've seen a lot of snow, but I have never seen anything like this.
There are no streetlights on, no visible light sources anywhere nearby. Yet the snow reflects a soft glow, making everything strangely clear. The sky holds a dull brightness that doesn't belong to midnight. The person filming doesn't say much, as if they're trying to understand what they're seeing before reacting to it. What makes this clip unsettling is how normal it tries to look. Campers are used to darkness at this hour, but this doesn't feel like night, and it isn't dawn either. Some viewers say it's a rare natural effect. Others believe something about this moment feels off, because when the sky refuses to go dark at 1:06 in the morning, you have to wonder what kind of night this really was. This terrifying clip was uploaded on BS Stan's TikTok, recorded during a daytime camping trip in the desert. While exploring the area, the camper noticed a high, mountain-like formation in the distance. Curious, they moved closer and saw that the area was covered with rocks of all sizes, scattered across the dry landscape. What stood out was one particular formation. A large stone was perfectly balanced on top of a much smaller rock. It didn't look like it should be able to stay there. There were no signs of recent movement, no tools, and no clear explanation for how something so heavy could rest so precisely without falling. The camper couldn't explain how the formation came to be. In a place with strong winds and shifting ground, it felt unnatural. Some believe it's a rare natural balance, while others see it as a deliberate marker left behind. But if no one placed it there, what exactly shaped that stone in the middle of the desert? This scary clip was uploaded on Ladybug2725's Instagram, recorded during a late-night camping trip. A camper was driving along a narrow forest road, heading deeper into the woods while listening to the radio. The area was completely quiet, with trees on both sides and no other vehicles in sight. Everything felt normal, until a car suddenly appeared ahead, stopped in the middle of the road. At first, it didn't seem threatening, but then the door of the parked car opened. A man stepped out and slowly began walking toward the camper. In his hand, was a large, sharp knife. He didn't ask for help. He didn't say a word. He just kept moving forward, blocking the road, as if trying to scare the driver and stop them from going any further.
All you're doing is ushering in, you're rushing in technology to replace people.
I gotta get by, dude.
Just so you understand that. But best, do you see, they're trying to craft the message at the exact same time. We're going to invest in every baby born $1,000 and let families learn compound interest and let families learn what the market can do and what capitalism can do for your future. We want to start economic educations at birth. So people can root and cheer for our free market system. Democrats are selling for it to be torn apart. It's a race. It's a narrative race for the future of the...
Realizing the danger, the camper panicked and quickly turned the vehicle around, managing to escape down the dark forest road. No one knows who that man was, or why he was standing there in the middle of the woods that night. And the most disturbing question remains: what would have happened if the camper hadn't turned around in time? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Funi___'s Instagram. Two friends venture into a dark train tunnel late at night, their flashlight barely cutting through the thick blackness. The air feels heavy and damp, echoing every footstep in a way that makes the darkness seem alive. At first, the tunnel appears empty, but an unsettling feeling quickly creeps over them, as if something unseen is waiting further ahead. As they move deeper, strange sounds begin to echo off the walls, soft rustles, faint scraping, and whispers that seem to follow their every step. Their flashlight illuminates nothing, yet the sensation of being watched grows stronger with each stride. Every instinct screams to turn back, but curiosity and the need to record keeps them moving forward. Then it starts. A horrifying, guttural sound emerges from the tunnel behind them, rising in intensity. It follows them relentlessly, echoing with every footstep, invisible, yet undeniably close. And when a dark tunnel becomes alive with unseen movement, every shadow and every sound forces a chilling question. What exactly is stalking them in the depths? This scary clip was uploaded on FlowDaddy Matt's Instagram and was recorded by someone driving to a campsite late at night. As they traveled along the road, a strange red glow appeared in the distance, flickering like fire. Smoke seemed to rise from the source, drifting across the road and making the scene feel otherworldly. As the car got closer, the driver noticed small objects falling onto the vehicle. Tiny rocks, almost like pebbles, clattering against the roof. The road ahead was littered with similar stones, scattered as if the ground itself had erupted. The strange red glow illuminated everything, casting long, shifting shadows across the rocky path. The combination of falling rocks, the smoke, and the eerie red light made the night feel alive and threatening. Nothing moved nearby except the glowing source, yet the sensation of danger was undeniable. This chilling clip was uploaded on SD Myers 89's Instagram, recorded during a camping trip deep in the woods. While walking through the area, the camper noticed something unusual ahead and decided to keep filming. At first glance, it looked like a small animal resting in an awkward position, completely unfazed by the surroundings. As the camera got closer, the sound became clear. If you turn the volume up, you can actually hear it snoring, loudly. The little guy looked completely passed out, or like it had pulled an all-nighter with its buddies and decided this was the perfect place to sleep it off. Despite how it looked, the animal wasn't stuck. Later on, it calmly pulled its legs in on its own. Moments like this are a reminder that you never really know what you're going to encounter in the woods while camping. Sometimes it's unsettling, sometimes it's mysterious, and sometimes it's just strange in the best way. But if this is what's comfortable enough to fall asleep out here, what else might be watching nearby while campers walk right past? This terrifying clip recorded by a group of friends who regularly drive up and down the mountain roads of Tanay, Rizal late at night. They usually go midweek, around 2 a.m., when there are fewer motorists on the road, pushing their cars through the curves on the way back to Manila. On this particular night, they were passing through a section of Tanay far from houses and modern establishments, where the road feels isolated and unusually quiet. As they drove through the darkness, something caught their attention. In the headlights, a strange presence appeared along the roadside, out of place, unmoving, and difficult to identify at first glance. The area was known to be remote, with no nearby homes or activity that could easily explain what they were seeing. The moment felt heavy, like the road itself was watching them pass through. They continued driving, but the sight stayed with them long after they left the mountain behind. Tanay has long been known for stories and unexplained encounters, especially along its darker stretches of road. And when the same place keeps showing signs of activity late at night, far from civilization, you have to ask, what is it about this mountain road that refuses to stay quiet after midnight? This chilling clip was uploaded on Spectral Explorer's Instagram. A late-night drive takes a sudden and terrifying turn. What begins as a quiet trip after midnight quickly feels wrong when the GPS cuts out without warning and the dashboard lights start to flicker. The road ahead looks unfamiliar, stretching deeper into darkness with no clear sense of where it leads. As the car continues forward, an overwhelming feeling sets in, the sense of being watched. Just beyond the reach of the headlights, something seems to be moving along the tree line.
What the fuck?
Stop.
No, Stop.
I'm not. No. Hell no.
What the fuck, dude?
Oh. They were soaked.
Okay.
It never fully appears on camera, but its presence feels undeniable, as if the woods themselves are paying attention. Even after the drive ends, the fear doesn't fade. The memory of that night lingers, sending chills long after the engine shuts off. And when a simple drive turns this unsettling in seconds, you have to ask, would you survive a late-night road like this? This terrifying picture was uploaded on Reddit. The man didn't notice anything unusual at the time. He was exploring an abandoned mine, and there were no oddly shaped walls or face-like formations anywhere around. Everything seemed normal. It wasn't until he got home and looked at the photo again that he realized something strange had been captured, something he didn't see while he was there. The mine has a dark history. He was told someone had died there, though he couldn't confirm it. What stood out immediately were dozens of lit candles and a welded cross nearly 2 meters tall at the entrance. It made the stories feel real, like someone, or something, had left a warning. The creepiest part? The man never saw it in person, only in the photo later. And when something only shows itself after you've left, you have to wonder, was it watching him the whole time? Or did it only reveal itself once he was gone? The person didn't film the scariest moments, too busy not dying, but caught this footage while leaving camp, knowing a mountain lion was stalking them from afar. Earlier, a black bear had approached their tent, and they had to scare it off. Later, they felt an unsettling sense of being watched and quickly packed up. Headlamp on, nice yellow eyes stared from the woods, 20 to 30 feet away.
I don't know if you can see its eyes, but I'm having a standoff with what might be a fucking mountain lion right now. Stay away! Get away! Fuck. Hey! I see you! Stay away! Stay away! Psh. Psh.
The creature's head bobbed, studying them. They yelled, clacked their trekking poles, and tried to appear bigger, carefully moving backward and putting distance between them and the predator. Around 1 a.m., they found a tent with a couple and their large, white wolf-like dog. After explaining the situation, they were allowed to camp beside them. That day, they had hiked over 40 miles and faced both a bear and a mountain lion. If this could happen to them, could it happen to you on a late-night mountain hike? Now, drop a comment with the scariest thing that's ever happened to you outdoors. And if these clips genuinely creeped you out, hit like. Subscribe too, because your story might end up in the next compilation.